State's got their black hoodies.
Looks like Tilly will come away with the tip-off. Bruce Thornton will bring it up for the Buckeyes. Tilly at the top of the three will take one. No good, a little short on that. Bringing it up for the Mountaineers is Alonzo Dodd. Over to Wilson. Top of the key, defended well by Mobley up top. And back to Dodd. Dodd trying to drive in. Jennings, team leading scorer, driving on in. Up and in off the bank. Good to go.
Yeah, really good job there by Jennings right there. Just out-muscles John Mobley.
The last game, he had 22 points for a career high versus NCCU and 21 points to open the season. As John Mobley Jr. brings it up for Ohio State, just crossed the timeline. Over to Thornton. Back on over to Mobley. Noel from three. No good, a little strong on that. Going to be rebounded by App State. Bringing it up to court quick in transition is Banks. Wilson up top. Back over to Dodd. Corner three for Banks. No good, in and out. Rebounded by Noel. Now on Ohio State side of things, Tilly up top with it, trying to set something up offensively. Over to Colin White, the reigning Ohio Mr. Basketball down low. It goes to Noel off the glass, is good.
Good find there by Tilly, and Noel that's a really hard shot. He's just right under the rim and somehow is able to get that to go.
2-2 here in Value City Arena. App State with it. Up top is Wilson. Back to the corner. And Banks driving it on in off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Colin White.
It's a good rebound there by Ohio State. They're going to have to outmuscle App State for these rebounds.
And Colin White will be a little long on that three-point attempt, and it looks like a loose ball foul.
Just going back to that point I made, Jake Diebler earlier, when we talked to him, he said that he's going to need his team to outmuscle the Mountaineers for these rebounds because he knows the Mountaineers have been very, very good at getting the rebounds from the glass, and he is looking for his team to step up just under the glass.
And Thornton inbounded it, but it'll be another loose ball foul on Alonzo Dodd of the App State Mountaineers.
Dodd's also just been a very good player, and that was something that Dustin Gertz has mentioned. You know, he's not a guy that can score a lot statistically. He's got 9.33 points per game, but the team as a whole, they are very just good fundamentally.
Absolutely, with Mobley in transition, drives it on home, but no good. And Dodd brings it back up very quickly. Wilson up top. Trying to get something going for the Mountaineers. 2-2 early on here in the first half of play. Ohio State, Bruce Thornton defending up top. Dodd trying to find something. Swinging the ball around. Step back three for Jennings. Cash. Bruce Thornton back for Ohio State in quick transition over to Noel in the corner. Now Noel driving it on in. Step back, finds Tilly for some help. Mobley closed in and then dishes it to Tilly, but Tilly will be fouled by Alonzo Dodd down low yet again, so second foul for him.
Yeah, and that saw Dodd immediately just look up to the sky. And that's just one of those things where you could really, if he just doesn't make contact with that wrist or that arm, just gets that ball, would have been a really good defensive play.
And Cups will come in for Ohio State, the Indiana transfer. App State leading by 3 here early on. Ohio State needing to get something going here. Inbounds it to Bruce Thornton, the offensive facilitator for the Buckeyes, if you will, Harrison.
So it certainly has been.
And Tilly for 3. Overshot the mark there, but rebounded again by Ohio State. Cups In transition, over to Tilly, spin move, but it'll be ripped away. Ohio State retains it. Thornton for three. No good. Just off the rack there. App State picks that board up. Quickly in transition, Jennings in the corner now. Over to Jalen Top. And now Colin White. And a man on top. Back to Jennings, trying to set something up. And Jennings with an off-footed floater, but no good. Ohio State rebounds it. Thornton quickly in transition. Will dish it out to Cups. Now Knoll trying to find something. Dishes it back to Thornton, who's driving in with some serious force. Floater just in and out. Unbelievable.
Oh, that's just super unlucky for Bruce Thornton.
App State seems to be slowing things down. Aaron Banks here.
Yeah, that's one of the things Jake Diebler had mentioned as well. App State really likes to play slow. You're going to see them all night probably wind the shot clock all the way down to 2-1.
And great defense by Cups right there. That's his signature, is known for defense, but will get blown.
Much this game so far, but expect that in the coming minutes in the coming half.
And Jennings inbounds it. And now Banks with it. John Mobley trailing him. Dishes it on out. Jennings trying to find a lane. Marcus Jr. for three, just off the front of the rack. Mobley with that rebound for the Buckeyes. Thornton Tilly for three. Off the front of the rack yet again.
Well, he's taking a couple threes there from the key, and he's 0 for 3 right now.
App State with it quickly in transition. And almost behind the basket there. Wilson will put it up for and one. Tilly called with that one.
Yeah, again, just a lot of contact underneath that rim. Good job by Wilson to outmuscle the two big guys for Ohio State. Tilly and Knoll. Knoll's going to get called for the foul.
7-2 here as Wilson heads to the line to try to capitalize on this three-point play.
Yeah, Luke Wilson just set a career high in 14 points versus Carolina U just a couple games ago.
And Wilson last game had 6 points and 8 rebounds, so a big body down low there for the Mountaineers. Sizes up well versus Tilly and Knoll, big guys of Ohio State. And the three-point play is no good. And here is Cups. Screen set by Thornton. And Mobley driving it on in, dishes it to Bynum, but it is intercepted. And it'll sail out of bounds, and it'll stay Ohio State's ball.
Yeah, that was a tight window that John Mobley tried to get that through. Drives the baseline, but ultimately when he gets to the bottom of the rim, he has nowhere to go, and he just tries to throw it to the corner, gets tipped around, and is almost considered lucky that Ohio State retains this ball.
Here's Thornton inbounding it for Ohio State. Long pass over to Mobley, but that'll be almost intercepted as it sails out of bounds, and Tilly will be the last to touch it, so that'll go over to App State.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I'm very surprised that Bruce Thornton elected to swing that to the far side for Mobley.
Here's App State. Jennings to inbound it. Over to Aaron Banks. Banks up top at the block O. Guarded by Thornton. And here's Jennings with a strong drive. Pump fake. Resets. Fade away. No good. Air ball. And a putback by Wilson. But Cups denies him. Great job by Cups.
That was a really good defensive play there by Gabe Cups. And I'm not going to say I think he stepped out of bounds when he got that ball. So it'll retain. It'll stay here, but yeah, just a really good job just to punch that out of Luke Wilson's hands.
7-2 here, App State, your leaders, 14-15 and ticking. Inbounds it over the backboard there as he faded out of bounds on the baseline. Ohio State quickly in transition. Thornton for three. No good on the mark, but Amari Bynum on the putback as well. No good. So App State winds up with it, wasting no time for three. Cash.
Yeah, there's those quick transitions that I just talked about. Get a good stop on the other end. And Jalen Todd with a good three.
A good three indeed. Ivan Nagovin at the top of the three-point. Over to Amari Bynum for three. Can't find it. That'll be out of bounds on Wilson right under the hoop. It looks like it just kind of sailed right off of his fingertips, so Ohio State will retain possession.
Yeah, certainly that's what it seemed to look like happened. And boy, for Ohio State offensively, just nothing clicking right now. They're 1 for 12 from the field, but most of them have come from beyond the arc, and they're 0 for 8 from 3 with Christoph Tiller leading the way 0 for 3, but just nobody able to find any offensive juice in the first 6.5 minutes of this game.
Cups off the inbound. Thornton hard drive inside and will draw the foul.
That's almost that's much needed call for Ohio State, and you get 2 free shots here with Bruce Thornton going to the line. Reliable guy from the line as well. So cut this deficit down to 6 points if Thornton can get these. Here's another look at it.
And Thornton shooting 88% from the stripe coming into tonight. So he's one of those guys that if you're Ohio State, you're happy to see him go to the line.
Certainly do. Just on that last replay, you saw a little bit. Jason Clark just a lot of contact there with Bruce Thornton.
Thornton coming off a career-high 38 points last game versus Purdue Fort Wayne, which would be the most points scored by a Buckeye since Jared Sullinger had 40 in 2010.
He just needs 5 to tie Terrence Dials for 14th in all-time program history, points scored.
Here's Aaron Banks trying to Jalen Top for another three. No good right off the rack, but rebounded yet again by App State. Driving it on in is Aaron Banks, and Nagovin gets his hand up and will be called for the foul.
Another great drive along the baseline, Aaron Banks. That all really starts, though, from the rebound by App State. There's the drive from Banks, and yeah, Nagovin just a lot of contact there along that wrist.
Banks' first one is good. That'll make it 11-4 here. Just over 13 minutes remaining. Banks had 8 points the last game out versus NCCU. And here come the Buckeyes, 12-4. Here in Value City Arena, Bruce Thornton looking to get something going. That has been that offensive heartbeat for the Buckeyes so far this year. And Mobley trying to drive it on in, spin moves, but dishes it over to Bynum off the glass. No good. Rebound by Bynum, puts it back up. Are you serious?
Yeah, really good putback there by Bynum. That was just spectacular. Out-muscles 3 guys I saw under the rim, and Bynum somehow comes up with it and puts it right back.
The true freshman Bynum bringing the house down. And here comes Banks. App State wasting no time, trying to get their offensive rolling. Banks driving on in the baseline. Quick dish over to Junior. And corner 3. No good. Just a little bit short, but will get his own rebound and just let it slip out of his hands, which will make it Ohio State ball, Harrison.
That's Andrew Endrock right there. Just gets his own rebound. And again, just showcasing App State's just good ability to get these rebounds, both offensively and defensively.
12-6, App State, your leader. 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Cups. Thornton. Poised and collected, but it'll be called a loose ball foul on Jalen Tott. As Bruce Thornton was driving it on in, Jalen Tott might have just got a little bit handsy on that.
Yeah, he really did. You can see that right there. Although Bruce Thornton, though, does a really good job just out-muscling Todd right there, and he's able to put it into the corner for Cups.
Talk to Jake Diebler about Bruce Thornton and what it means to have someone like him in your program. It's just unbelievable to have a guy like that. Big Ten Player of the Week last week as Mobley puts up a three, but it'll be no good looking for the foul there, just in and out. And here's Banks getting boxed in the corner. Good defense by Ohio State, but the Mountaineers escape. And here's Tot. Over to Njok. Very good ball movement here by the Mountaineers. And a three-point ball, no good, off the back of the rack.
Yeah, they just worked that ball all the way across the perimeter, and Marcus Jr. likes to take the shot.
Here comes Bynum. Back to Mobley. And Mobley with the drive and a quick floater. No good.
Again, just offensive woes for Ohio State continuing. Neither team really hasn't scored in the past 2 minutes, and Ohio State just almost the first half of this half.
Ohio State shooting 1 of 13 so far from the field. And here's Marcus Jr. from three again. That's a loose ball foul. Mountaineers have played their game and done exactly what they intended on doing, coming in here and slowing down the game and making it their own pace.
Certainly have been, and that's been the game plan for App State. They're executing it so well right now.
There's Alonzo Dodd on the inbound. Finds Njok on the top of the key. And Jennings quickly driving it on home. Turnaround jumper. Good to go.
Right. Contested by Bynum right there, and Jennings just good fadeaway shot. That's just the star power that you see from Jennings right there.
And here's Ohio State. Little lob by Thornton over to Bynum down low off the glass. Get it to go.
Yeah, there you go. Good lob by Thornton. Good finish by Bynum.
14-8. Ohio State creeping back in. 10-15 left to go in the first half. Dodd trying to facilitate some offensive power for the Mountaineers. And Dodd driving it on in. Right-handed floater, no good. And Ohio State comes up with the rebound as Cups. And here comes Cups. Indiana transfer. Cups feeling his way around the top of the key. Here's Tyson Chapman. Checking in for the first time tonight. Step back three, Amari Bynum, no good off the back of the rack there.
Yeah, a lot of room there for Bynum, but again, just more three field goals attempts. Woes for Ohio State.
And here's Njok for three. That'll be good. Count it for the kid.
Yeah, that's his first three of the season for Njok right there. Another good look at it. Ken Stilley, oh yeah, just right on the money there for Njok.
Here's Thornton for Ohio State. Over to Chapman. Tilly down low, posting up. Defender, turnaround jumper, cash. Right on the bottom of that net was Tilly. Great back down on Wilson and a turnaround floater.
Yeah, it really was, Mason. You hit it on the money right there.
And here's Dodd, almost fumbles his dribble there, but picks it back up. And Njok over to Clark Jr. Clark Jr. driving it on in. Count it.
App State right now, just doing a phenomenal job just driving in and getting these layups to go.
19-10. Tilly for three. No good off the front of the rim there. Just a little short on that.
0 for 4 for Christoph Tilly from beyond the arc right now.
Ohio State trying to find that offense that they've been blossoming with so far, for lack of better words, early on in this season. And here's Dodd. Defended well. Njok for three. Another one. Back to back from the same spot. Njok the kid.
Die for App State. They're wearing their black long sleeves with the Appreciation Night, Veterans Day, American flag stuff on their shirts. By the way, just a quick shout out to my cousin Anthony under the Vermont National Guard. And Anthony, I'll see you in Christmas in a month, bud.
Fantastic, yeah. And we mentioned it in the open, but just want to thank all the current and former military members, for your service. And here we are. 8:12 to go in the first half. The Mountaineers leading the Buckeyes 22-10. Ohio State looking to get their offensive firepower started up as Bruce Thornton brings it up for Ohio State, swinging the ball around on top of the arc. And Mobley drives it in, left-handed finish off the glass, no good, rebounded by Wilson.
Well, yeah, and then Ohio State, right now 4 for 21 now from the field. We highlighted just how well they have been offensively in their first 2 games of the season. Well, right now it's just a complete opposite, have found no success.
Absolutely. As App State just swinging this ball around, very good ball movement. And Tyson Chapman will be called for the foul there when Alonzo Dodd was trying to get around him and attack the rack. Chapman just got a little handsy there.
Yeah, it certainly did. I think Chapman was also looking for a travel. Oh, yeah, right there, though, you can see Chapman. Just a lot of contact as Dodd was driving it. That's something that App State we've seen so far early in this game has just been really good at, is just driving the rim.
And here's Dodd over to Wilson. Wilson backing down Tilly, and they swing it back up top. Dodd for 3 on the corner. In and out, no good. Loose ball on the ground. Thornton forces a jump ball. That was Andren Injok on the floor, and Bruce Thornton tied it up with him.
Yeah, good job there. High Bruce Thornton right there, but it'll stay in App State's possession.
And Alonzo Dodd will be elected to inbound this for App State. Dodd inbounds it to Jennings. Jennings has 7 points already tonight. Looking for 9. And just misses the mark there, but comes up with the rebound. But then will fall out of his hands and end up in Colin White's hands. Over to Knoll, down low. Left-handed finishes Knoll.
Yeah, good job there. It was contested there by Wilson, but that was a really good job there, Knoll, to switch it to his left hand.
Ohio State cuts this deficit to 10. Going to be a foul on Bruce Thornton. Over on Dodd. Dodd's been doing a good job of creating those fouls early on.
That's something that App State as well has just done a very good job at. They do a good job at just drawing these fouls just because of how physical they play. You can see Bruce Thornton just trying to get over the screen on top.
And here's Aaron Banks, the junior. Over to Njak on top. Jennings trying to find himself a lane. Will step back 3. No good. And we have a whistle blown.
He's going against Colin White here.
So Ohio State early on have been dishing out a lot of fouls and not a lot of offense, Harrison.
Actually going on Christoph Till. I thought that was going against Colin White. I saw a lot of contact. That ball is gone. And I guess they get it on Christoph Tilley.
Here's Wilson 1-1, so he'll stay at the line. Here's Wilson. No good. And here's Bruce. Bringing it up for the Buckeyes. Crossover to Jennings and dishes it over to Knoll. Knoll back out to Thornton. 6 minutes remain here in the first half. And Tilley will elect to take it in himself. Picks up his dribble, has to dish it up. Top to Mobley. Mobley will lose the ball, but finds Knoll in the corner. Good to go for Knoll.
Yeah, there we go. And boy, that was just really weird. John Mobley lost the handle on it, and the ball went straight to Knoll and just fakes the shot, makes his defender miss, and no doubt about it, 3 right there.
Yeah, it seemed like the ball might have been kicked over there, but just a missed kick ball right there. by the refs, and it just sailed on over to Knoll, and Knoll took advantage of that. And here comes App State. Clark Jr. for a nice jumper right there, mid-range. And as App State will take a timeout, Ohio State.
Again, just 6 for 23 from the field right now. 1 for 12 from beyond the arc. They got to get something going, but right now they're actually being led there by Knoll. Brandon Knoll, 3 for 4 from the field, has been most reliable for this game for the Buckeyes so far.
And here's Tilly driving it on in. Will draw the foul, almost an and one, but we'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Bucks.
Yeah, just seeing him right now, his body language, a little bit frustrated that that ball didn't roll in for him, but he still gets 2 shots here. So yeah, here comes Tilly just driving in, and that's Aaron Banks with the contact.
And here's Tilly at the line. Coming into this game, shooting 69% from the charity stripe. His first one's good. And raise that percentage a little bit more after that.
Yeah, certainly. He's been very good ever since joining this Buckeye squad. His transfer from Santa Clara just set a career high, 26 points versus IU Indy. So already establishing himself as a reliable guy.
And those 2 free throws are good for Tilly. And App State just crossed the timeline. Aaron Banks. Aaron Banks over to Jennings. Jennings behind the back. Colin White defending him. Gabe Cups with the strip. Jennings shimmies on Colin White for 3. Just short. Ohio State gets the rebound.
Yeah, heavily contested there from White on Jennings.
And here's Bruce Thornton over to Knoll. Knoll driving it in. Finds Cups on the outside. Cups will drive it on in and be able to draw that foul on App State.
So that'll put Ohio State in the bonus now.
And that will be on Andron Injak, his first for tonight. But nonetheless, send Gabe Cups to the line. Former Indiana guard. 22 starts there as a freshman. Another Ohio Mr. Basketball. Him and Colin White.
I think I heard in his sophomore year, only 4 games, so was able to get a medical red shirt. Hasn't really played a lot of basketball since really his freshman year.
And here comes the Mountaineers. Banks over on the right side, trying to find an open lane. Dishes it out, but a hand will pop up by Colin White, and that'll make the ball sail out of bounds.
Yeah, good job there by Colin White, just sticking his hand out there. That pass was intended for Casey Jennings, but White has a good enough reach to get a tip on it.
25-19, 4 minutes remain in the first half. Banks up top. Trying to facilitate something for his offense. Banks taking it in on the left side, dishes it out to Jennings. Jennings on the baseline, turnaround, jumper, and called a travel there. A very circus-like shot from behind the backboard. After all those guys.
And by the way, he shot 14 for 17 from that game.
Fantastic.
Really was.
And here the kid comes himself. Bruce Thornton trying to find something. Here's Cups. Thornton guarded by Jennings. Tilly with the screen. Cups driving it in over to Knoll. Knoll back to Cups from long range. No good.
That was a downtown shot from Gabe Cups.
Well, it certainly was. Here's Aaron Banks for the Mountaineers. The Georgia native. Played at Georgia Southern before transferring here. Here's Casey Jennings, team's leading scorer. Over to Dodd. Dodd fumbles the ball and puts up a shot. No good.
Yeah, I missed the rim, so shot clock violation. Good defense there by Colin White, and his first career start has been very good just defensively.
And I know that was a big talk with Diebler earlier as we take another look at this. Just kind of sail to the right of the rim and will result in a shot clock violation. But a big talk with Diebler earlier was setting that momentum defensively as well. You know, the talk has been so much offense, but hey, what can the Buckeyes do defensively? And showing it there is they are now down 6. Here's Ohio State with the ball. Thornton on the left side. Turns and dishes it to Knoll. Knoll, three-point shot. No good. A little right for the guy. Loose ball foul. Colin White drew it up.
It's going to be on Luke Wilson. Both of them were fighting for the ball, and Wilson ultimately just a lot of contact under the rim. So you're going to see Knoll put this one up from the key, and then watch just under the rim. Actually, I take that back. It's going to be on Alonzo Dodd. I thought that was Wilson initially, but.
Yeah, and that'll actually take Dodd to 3 early on. And here's White as he heads to the line. No good off the back of the rack there. Colin White with his own rebound. Way to stay in the play there. Mobley, short jumper, and it's good.
And now John Mobley gets his first 2 points on the board. And Ohio State now all of a sudden they've drawn up a 6-0 run over the past nearly 3 minutes.
Here's Banks. Over to Todd. Thornton guarding him. And Todd going to be blocked by Thornton when Todd was driving it in. Here comes Mobley, no time to breathe, and he'll draw a foul.
And right in transition, John Mobley. We'll get another look at it. Here's just John Mobley. Just a little bit of contact on Jalen Todd.
But nonetheless, good job by Mobley quickly in transition there and drawing that foul. Mobley's first is good.
We're slowly seeing Ohio State's offensive momentum starting to come up now.
John Mobley, one of the best shooters in the country, made 77 threes last season, which was the second most by a freshman in OSU history.
It was second in the Big Ten in threes made.
25-23. Ohio State has cut the deficit from 12 to 2. And here's Banks. Outside to Jennings. Back over to Banks. Now Tot has it up top. Here's Banks. And Thornton will be called for a foul right there. Thornton's not too happy about that one.
Yeah, just from the angle, I thought maybe he got all the ball there.
It was a close one indeed.
Really?
Thornton will come out there, and Gabe Cups will check in for him, the Ohio native. As we take another look at this.
So let's see. Oh, I think he gets the left wrist right there on Aaron Banks.
Or the left wrist, indeed.
That puts Banks on the line now. They 1-on-1.
Here's Banks. No good. Ohio State comes up with it. John Mobley Jr. 1:35 remaining here in the first half. Ohio State still down by 2. John Mobley with the 3. No good, but rebounded by Tilley. Ohio State retains possession. Cups back to Tilley. Over to Mobley, dribbling it around, taking it in single-handedly, and will draw the foul on Banks.
It's his second of the night, Aaron Banks. Great job there by Mobley and Tilley, just working together, moving the ball around together. So there's the handoff for Tilley, then Mobley trying to create some space for himself, and he's just fighting off Banks, and Banks just leans in a little bit too hard there with his body. And now Ohio State, they're in the double bonus, so this is going to be 2 shots for John Mobley Jr.
Here's Mobley's first. Count it.
And Mobley Jr., he can tie this game up in this next free throw.
1:15 remains. You're in the first half of play.
And if Ohio State in transition can get another defensive stop, they can hold App State to 0 points in maybe the next 4 under 5 minutes. In the last under 5 minutes, I should say.
Everyone is on their feet here in Value City Arena. Jennings with the ball over to Njak. swinging the ball all around is the Mountaineers. And Jock top of the key, over to top. Guarded by Cups. Driving it on in is Tot, step back. No good. And Ohio State's ball as John Mobley just lets that ball sail out of bounds.
That's another good defensive stop, and 0 points in the last 4:45 for App State. So you see Tot, I mean, he just has to put this up. There's 3 on the shot clock and a little bit too strong there.
App State is 0 for 4 in 1 of their last 8 shots. Here's Cups. Ohio State. Now Mobley. Mobley will draw another foul.
Again on Banks, I think.
And yes,
Gets 3 fouls now for Aaron Banks. That's 2 guys now with 3 fouls. Alonzo Dodd, they have to manage him, and now they have to manage Aaron Banks with 3 as well.
here's Mobley at the line for 2. Mobley 6 points tonight, but 0 for 2 from 3 where he feels the most comfy. And that first one is good. Gives Ohio State the first lead of the night, 26-25. Ohio State is in a 14-2 run in the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds, and his second one is good. Give Ohio State a 2-point lead. And here's Tot with 30 seconds, about a 4-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
Yeah, you're going to see the App State, they're going to run this shot clock all the way down, and Tot is probably going to go with probably 10 to go on the clock.
Here's Tot.
Yep, here he goes.
Guarded by Cups up top. It will be some pushing going down low, and I believe that'll go on.
You saw it, you know, had a couple really good stops, and ultimately that's what helped Ohio State get these points and helped get to a 5-point lead.
Absolutely. There's Ohio State going the other way out of the half. And Mobley with the ball. Back up to Tilly on top. Over to Mobley. Mobley with the nice dish to Tilly in the double clutch move and 1, count it.
It's a good pick and roll between Mobley and Tilly.
There's another look at it.
Yeah,
little
Tilly's
double move action.
Certainly. Tilly hands it off to Mobley, sets the screen, and then on the pick and roll, draws the foul as he drives to the rim on a good feed from Mobley Jr.
Little give and go action there. Tilly at the line, convert the 3-point play. He does.
It's a good start in the second half for Ohio State.
33-25. And here's Dodd. Back to Moody, but Moody will dish it down low, and Knoll will cause some havoc there.
Yeah, it certainly does. Gets a hand on that ball, tips it out of bounds. The feed intended for Wilson there.
Here's Jennings on the inbound. Over to Dodd. And Dodd will sail it out of bounds, just kind of fumble it in his own hands.
It's not the first time we've seen that either from App State. Some of these balls just losing the handle. So there's Dodd, good driving. Yeah, just losing the handle right there as he's being shadowed by Thornton.
Here's Mobley. Over to Tilly again, down low. Tilly backing down defender. Left hand off the glass, just rolls out. Colin White flying in there trying to make that board. I believe will be called for a foul there. Colin White confirmed, called on that.
Yeah, both him and Tilly were driving for it, and boy, just right there, a little bit late, but yeah, Wilson gets the brunt of that contact between White and himself.
There's Alonzo Dodd, the senior guard. Over to Clark Jr. Clark Jr. driving it on in. Mobley and him tied up. Back over to Wilson. Slams it home.
I mean, Wilson was just wide open right there under the rim. Easy backdoor slam.
Here's Mobley. Over to Colin White. Up top to Knoll. Back to Tilly for 3. Can he get it? No good. Rebounded by App State. Moody on that rebound. And Dodd in transition. Over to Moody, down low. He goes off the glass, no good. In and out for Moody. And here comes White quickly in transition for the Bucks. Crossover move, step back, no good for Thornton. 33-27. Both teams kind of picking up that pace, but it looks like App State trying to slow it down a little bit here.
Going right back to their game plan of just eating down the shot clock.
Here's Jennings, baseline, no good. But rebounded down low by Luke Wilson. Great board for him. Jennings again with another chance. Over to Clark. Clark, floater, count it.
Fantastic floater by Clark. A good ball movement as well for App State. And again, just another rebound. That starts by a rebound there by Wilson.
33-29. App State cut it down to 4. Mobley for 3. The sniper. Great shot by Mobley.
Yeah, he's the first guy now in double digits for both teams in this game. 11 points.
Here's Moody for the Mountaineers. Driving it on in is Dodd. And Dodd was met down low by Knoll. Dodd driving it on in on Knoll. Knoll, great defense there. Here comes Thornton. Thornton over to Tilley, driving it on in, left hand, and will draw the foul.
That one's going to be on Wilson.
Tilley does such a fantastic job for a 7-footer to have so much athleticism right here. As you see, his ball handling skills are fantastic and can make an athletic move at any moment.
I mean, just right there on that replay, you just saw he just does a good job just drawing that contact and force the officials to make him go to the line.
Just goes coast to coast so fast. Those 7-footers, he can be at half court to the 3-point line in no time.
He certainly can be. Again, just transferred in from Santa Clara this season and has really just slotted himself into a core piece of this Ohio State team.
Yeah, most certainly has, as his first free throws up and good, but absolutely had 26 points and 9 rebounds on his Buckeye debut against IU Indy. His second one is good.
Career high for him, by the way.
38-29. Buckeyes lead by 9. And here's Aaron Banks over to Njok. Njok trying to find someone. Jennings trapped over in the corner, but swings it back. And Alonzo Dodd just had a heel on that line and will be called out of bounds. Looked like he was going to take that 3-point shot.
It certainly looked like it, Mason, and it must have been the heel that was out of bounds.
Here comes the Buckeyes.
That's a bad break for App State right there.
Yeah, it certainly is. 16-10 in ticking. Mobley crosses the timeline and dishes it over to Cuffs. Thornton back up top. Thornton driving it on in, left-handed off the glass, finish, and one, book it. And one for Bruce Thornton. He has planted his roots over in that Sun Belt.
He certainly has, and just that stability has allowed him to become the 3rd fastest App State head coach to reach 100 wins in program's history, and right now he's 5th on App State's program history, head coach program history with those wins.
And here's Thornton's good 3-point play. And here's App State trying to claw their way back into this thing. Marcus Jr. for 3. Count it.
Michael Marcus Jr. for 3.
That's a pure shot there from Marcus Jr. right there. On a contested 3, too.
Here's Bruce Thornton.
And hopefully that'll spark some life in App State.
Here's Tilly up top, over to Cups from the corner. No good. In and out for Cups.
His offensive woes have continued. He's yet to make a field goal this season so far.
Jennings back to Njak up top. Trying to find something. Good ball movement by the Mountaineers so far. Here's Jennings on the perimeter. And Dodd driving it on in with a wide open lane off the glass. No good. Rebound by Tilly. And here comes Tilly in transition. Over to Cups yet again. Same spot. Good. Count it. Great shot by Cups.
I just talked about how he hadn't made a field goal all season in his first 2 games and third coming into this one. And yeah, how about that for your first field goal as a Buckeye?
Absolutely. And Jock from 3. No good. The loose ball foul down low. And a ball. Just getting word that was on number 44, Marcus Jr. So the ball will go to Ohio State.
Yeah, that was a loose ball foul there. Didn't catch that, but yeah, the rebound was going to Ohio State either way.
And here's Cups. Knoll setting something up. Mobley deep 3 and 1. Unbelievable. Great shot. He knew it. He felt it. He felt that contact, Harrison, and just threw it up. And who none other than John Mobley Jr. who converts that play.
Yeah, and I mean, for Kason Jennings, what can you do? I mean, you're pressed up onto John Mobley Jr. and Mobley feels it, and he takes a contested 3, and I mean, how does that one go in for Mobley?
Just misses it. 47-32, Ohio State leads. That gives Mobley 14 on the night.
To correct it, the foul was on Alonzo Dodd.
And here are the Mountaineers. Great pass by Njak to Jennings, but no good. Just sails off the front of that rim. Little soft there from Jennings. And Cups driving it on in the left side. Cups down to Negovin. Negovin. Floater. Great shot by Ivan Negovin down low.
It was a really good floater indeed. A good pick and roll between Cups and Negovin, and then a good job by Negovin as well to create some space for himself to get that floater up.
Here comes Dodd. No good. Great defense by Cups. That is Cups. What he's known for is that defensive grit. It'll be another loose ball foul, and it looks like it's going to go against Ivan Negovin.
Yeah, it certainly does. Him and Marcus Jr. were fighting for position in the paint. And ultimately, Negovin, too much contact there.
49-32, 12:50 remains here in the second half.
Boy, for App State, they haven't scored in just a little under 3 minutes now.
16-3 run Ohio State is on in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Here's Jennings over to Njak up top. No good. Rebound by Thornton. Upstairs, grabs that one. The lob! He did that the first game versus IU Indy, and give him another one. Amari Bonham upstairs. Great job by the Buckeyes and Bynum.
Well, how about Bruce?
For 12 minutes remaining here in the second half. And Aaron Banks will take it out for App State. Over to Todd.
See what Dustin Kearns has drawn up here coming off this timeout he called.
Todd guarded by Cups. And Banks guarded by Thornton. Little back and forth action to each other. Over to Jennings. Jennings driving it on in, and a Colin White turnaround fader No good. Rebound by Ohio State. Here's Thornton. Here's Bynum. The lob man himself. Bruce Thornton. Colin White. No good. Gonna be a whistle blown dead right there. A loose ball foul action. Oh, the gate swinging. And Ohio State has kind of just adjusted well and has pulled away with this lead. They're on a 10-0 run over the last 3 minutes. And Bruce Thornton will inbound it. The lob to Bynum, almost way up top in the rafters, but unsuccessful in doing so.
Yeah, that one
App
was
State has it. And Bruce Thornton with the steal. But the whistle will be blown dead. I believe that's going to go on Thornton.
I'm going to get it on Aaron Banks in transition.
Probably a smart foul there.
Yeah, it was. But that puts Ohio State in the bonus now. So Thornton is going to go to the line for the 1-1. I was going to say that the lob from Thornton was just behind Bynum, and that's why he wasn't able to corral it. But then, just next thing you know, in transition, all of a sudden, Bruce Thornton gets the ball right back, and he gets fouled.
Yeah, from our vantage point, Bynum off that inbound play just was sky high.
He was getting ready to slam that thing down.
And here's Thornton at the line. Thornton has 8 on the night, make it 9.
He could be the second guy to enter the double digits in the points category if he makes a second one. By the way, Aaron Banks with that last foul, that's 4 fouls for him of the night. So he is in a lot of foul trouble, and now Dustin Kearns is really going to have to manage him for the rest of this game.
And Thornton, never a doubt, takes him to double digits on the night. That is 10 points for him. Here's Dodd quickly in transition. And Cup super excited as he stayed on his hip. And Jennings down low to Wilson. Over to the corner, no good. Ivan Negelvin on that rebound.
Yeah, good job by Bruce Thornton there as well, just to tip it to him.
And here's Thornton looking to set things up, the facilitator. Over to Bynum in the corner, wide open, no good. Sails out of bounds. And the ball will go to the Mountaineers.
App State, though, their offensive woes have continued. They're on a 5-minute scoring drought right now.
Here's Dodd over to top. Here's Jennings. And Marcus Jr. will kind of just let that ball. He thought someone was going to be there, but wasn't.
I think it was intended for Luke Wilson, and Wilson was just not ready for the pass. And they both looked at each other like, what happened? So a little bit of miscommunication in between those two. And not a very good turnover for the Mountaineers now.
And here's Cups bringing it up, just crossing the timeline. Crossover move over to Mobley. Mobley from long range, no good, but Knoll picks it up, puts it back up. Second chance opportunity for Knoll.
Yeah, good second chance there by Knoll.
And here comes Alonzo Dodd. Trying to take it on in, outside to Jennings. No good, a little short on that. Gabe Cups with the rebound. Big pass over to Tilly. Tilly back up top. Mobley driving it on in, left-handed finish. No good, but somehow comes up with the rebound there as he was on the ground.
But I think everyone's confused at how that happened.
Here's Mobley driving it on in, off the glass. Another foul will be called. Waiting on the confirmation of who that will go against. On Jalen Tott. So that'll send John Mobley Jr. to the line. Team's leading scorer tonight. 14 points. 3 for 10 from the field.
He's 6 for 7 from the free throw line right now. I'll make it 7 for 8.
56-32 here in second half of play in Value City Arena.
Checking into the game for the Buckeyes, number 9, Matthew Grujicic. Replaces
Here comes number 9 checking into the game, Matthew Grujicic. Here's Mobley's second. Count it. So that'll take Mobley to 16 on the night, team's leading scorer. And a steal by Cups, big, and misses the layup.
He's smiling. He is smiling after smoking the layup.
Access denied right there in the front of that rim by Cups, but great defense. Nonetheless, App State ends up with it. And
I think he was just surprised that he didn't. He just got the ball all of a sudden.
Absolutely. Here comes Ohio State. Grujicic trying to slow things down. Back over to Mobley. Grujicic mid-range. Just rolls out on him. Rebound by Chad Moody. Here's Jennings. Off the glass, no good.
Oh, bad collision there.
App State remains the possession. Casey Jennings on the outside.
Yeah, Mobley and Grujicic ran into each other, and that allowed App State to get the ball. You're surprised. That's probably maybe why he missed the layup, and a little bit unfortunate for Cubs, but that's one of those things where you just shake off and you move on with the next one. Here's John Mobley Jr., by the way. He's got 16 points. That leads everyone on both sides of the ball right now. Not really shooting well from the field, 3 for 10, but most of his points have come from the free throw line. It does a really good job just drawing the foul. And that's where most of his points have come from, 16 of the night.
And back to Cups on that smile after that play. That's just the kind of guy he is, Every time we get the chance to come here, and he just carries a positive attitude.
He certainly does.
And down low to Knoll. Chapman to Knoll, down low. Count it for the kid. Great job by Knoll. Takes Ohio State to 59. And here's Banks. 4 fouls on the night. Banks trying to stay away from trouble. And Tyson Chapman will be called there as Jennings is trying to drive it in. That'll be his second for the night.
Yeah, just going back to that point, Mason, Ohio State, 24-point lead right now for the Buckeyes as there's the foul on Chapman. But they have, ever since the latter half of that first half, they have adjusted really well to App State and have almost taken control of this game.
And yet again, Chapman will be called for that. We look at the ref just kind of uncertain as to what he could have done differently there.
That's his third foul of the night, too.
And Jake Diebler on this baseline incredulous right now. So App State will inbound it under their own basket. Aaron Banks to inbound it. Up top to Wilson. And Banks driving it in. Right-handed floater gets it to go.
That's a good floater there by Aaron Banks. Just before that ball was thrown in, I really thought Matthew Grujicic was going to get called for an off-ball foul. There was a lot of contact between him and an App State player.
And here's Tilly. Tilly over to Knoll. Back to Chapman from long range. Great pass in the slam home by Knoll.
Yeah, good job. That was a really good slam there by Knoll, just on the baseline as well. A good find by Chapman as well.
Great find by Chapman. And here's Banks. Back up top to Jennings, trying to facilitate something. Jennings driving it on in. Mid-range, no good. Rebound by Tilly. Here comes Mobley. Long range. Just off the back of the basket there. No good.
Good screen there by Tilley to give Mobley that space.
Jason Clark over to Luke Wilson up top. Back over to Aaron Banks. Good ball movement. Down low will be a kick ball on Noel. Down low. Tried to stick his foot out there and cause some havoc, and he did, and we call on the kick ball.
Yeah, here's another look at it. You just see right there, Clark was just looking for Wilson in the paint, and it just goes straight onto Noel's foot, and he gets the kickball.
Here's App State, Aaron Banks, inbounding it right under his own basket. One more time. Over to Jennings in the corner. Jennings driving it on in. Left-handed finish. Gets it to go.
All right, he's got 12 points of the night now for Kason Jennings.
Here's Thornton backing down Clark Jr. Up top to Tilley. No good.
0 for 6 from beyond the arc now. He's been very aggressive with taking those threes.
And Banks over to Wilson. Slams it home.
Have a really good play there between those two, and Wilson with a fantastic finish.
And here's Bruce Thornton just trying to slow things down for Ohio State. Let this clock keep winding down. Shot clock at 10. Thornton driving it on in and just kind of loses his balance, and then we'll call it a foul on Jason Clark.
Thornton seems a little bit shaken up. After that, get him some time and another look at that. Still, though, a commanding lead for Ohio State, and they've just done a good job at taking control of this game and really just done a good job at matching what App State has thrown at them.
Here's Thornton at the line. 10 points in the night for Thornton. Misses that free throw. And Tilley down low to Noel, back-to-back slams.
Noel on the same spot again, that time from Tilley.
And Noel is just rocking the rim.
At 15 points now for Brandon Noel.
Here's Jalen Todd. All the way over to Banks. No good for three. Bruce Thornton yet again bringing it up. Chapman in the corner. Step back three. He gets it. Count it for Tyson.
And everyone for this Ohio State offense is starting to get in on the action now. The second half for the Buckeyes offensively has been much better compared to the first.
That'll slide out of bounds by Clark Jr. Just kind of threw it over there and it just rolled out of bounds. So Ohio State, Bruce Thornton bringing it up. 4 minutes and 10 seconds and ticking. Here's Chapman. Chapman, the lob. No, are you kidding me? He was in the rafters.
I mean, Noel has just been in the right spots at the right time. That is 3 lobs now that Noel has been able to connect and finish.
Here's Banks over to Tot. Tot for three. Counted for Tot. Back and forth. Great.
17 points too as well. That's a season high for him.
And here come the Buckeyes. Pushing this real quick pace with 3:30 and ticking. Here's Cups. Over to Thornton. And back to Chapman in the corner. Good ball movement by Ohio State. Thornton for three. Give it to the guy. Bruce Thornton, bottom of the net.
A good ball movement for Ohio State. Works its way around to Bruce Thornton. And now he's 2 for 4 for 3.
Here's Banks for App State. And Tot for three. Give it to him. Jalen Tot.
Yeah, again, same story. Just flip it to the other side for App State.
Jalen Tott came into this game 6 for 22 from 3. And that'll be a foul on Jason Clark Jr., which will be his 3rd on the night.
Just going back to Jalen Tott too, by the way, he's 3 for 4 from 3, and he's just been very efficient for his team when shooting from beyond the arc. 9 points in just 60 minutes of play for the man.
Here's Chapman at the line. And just misses his first one. Chapman played 17 games last year, but his season was slowed down due to a knee procedure. And Ohio State gets the rebound off that free throw. He'll be blown dead again. Ohio State will retain possession and inbound it right over here by the scorer's table. And Cup set up to inbound it.
Yeah, just a little under 2:40 left in this game. You know, Ohio State, they have a commanding lead right now. But I mean, right at both teams right now, just in the late stages of the scheme, Ohio State's 4 for 4 from the field, and App State, they're 4 for 5.
Both teams have certainly turned it up offensively. And great defense by App State there, trapping Chapman. The lob again to Amarty Bynum, but was behind the backboard.
Hey, get this on Jalen Tott, if I'm not mistaken here. On Clark Jr. And that puts Jason Clark at 4 fouls now.
And Jason Clark has 4, and Aaron Banks has 4, so some foul trouble for the Mountaineers. Bynum's first one, good.
Yeah, 2:27 left in this half.
Bynum's second is good. That makes it 73-47 here in Value City Arena. Aaron Banks guarded by Cups. Banks almost gets it swatted away by Bynum, but the Mountaineers retain possession, and that'll be a loose ball or an off-ball foul by Chapman.
That puts him at 4 as well. He's been very physically aggressive throughout this game. In just 11 minutes play, you can see it right there. I mean, that's twice right there where Clark kind of just leans into him, but Chapman just sticks with it. And but I mean, still, that's still a little bit too much contact for Chapman. So he's got to be careful. He's got 4 fouls in this game.
There's Marcus Jr. with the ball. Over to Clark Jr. Now Banks with it. Banks, baseline, no good. That'll be another foul called down low. I believe that's going to go against Negovin.
Yeah, him and Marcus Jr., when they're fighting for the rebound, a lot of contact between those two, just under the rim.
App State inbounding it right under their own basket. Here's Jalen Tott, guarded by Thornton. Chapman tried to make a charge at that. Tott wide open, no good. We have foul on Marcus Jr., so Ohio State will get that ball.
I will say, though, that was a really good ball movement for Jalen Tott. And again, just a really good job there by him to fake the shot against Chapman, who kind of just cheated over to try and get the pass. And then he gets stuck. And so now Chapman has to try and recover back, and Tott sees it, so he just fakes the shot, forces Chapman to miss, and a great shot, but just couldn't finish it.
Negovin's first one is good from the line. 74-47. 138 remains here in Value City Arena. And his second is good. 4 points on the night for Ivan Negovin. Here come the Mountaineers. Over to Marcus Jr. down low, and that's good.
Michael Marcus Jr.
Count it for him, 49-75. Here's Cups. Minute 20 remain. Here's Bynum on the corner, driving it on in. Dishes it back up top to Chapman, and Chapman just sails his pass. Was intended for Grujic and just sails it over his head.
Yeah, well, way too high of a pass there.
And here's Todd. Over to Njok. And Njok to Clark. Clark driving it in. And a second chance by Njok coming down from the baseline and puts it back up, and the bank is open.
Yeah, good job there. Good second chance there by Njok to finish that.
Gabe Cups driving it on in. Dishing it back out to Grujic. Just trying to chew up this clock. 26 seconds remain, 5 on the shot clock. Grujic from deep and will be fouled from behind the line. So that'll be 3 shots for Matthew Grujic.
Yeah, that puts Marcus Jr. to 4 now, so it should be a 3-point try for Grujic.
I believe he was behind that line.
They're singling 3, so it will be. And with 23 to go, and Ohio State with a 24-point lead. They did a good job, the Buckeyes did, adjusting to App State, and really had to work for that win.
Grujic, this is his first 2.
Yeah, here's another look at the foul, and yeah, just Marcus Jr. just jumps right into him.
There's Grujic, missed all 3 free throws right there. Uncharacteristic. There's Clark Jr. Clark Jr. driving it in. Wants the foul and gets it.
Yeah, it's going to go against Gabe Cups. And Cups as well. I mean, you mentioned it a little earlier in the game, Mason. He is a tremendous defender, and again, just hadn't really seen him play since really his freshman year. Get at least meaningful games in. Only 4 last year with Indiana, and now transfers to Ohio State, and has certainly played a lot more. And for him, it's just getting these reps in.
And Clark Jr.'s first one's good, and so is his second. Ohio State will wrap this one up here in Value City Arena. Ohio State